All right, everybody, please take a look at the disclosure. Here is the disclosure. It is Thursday, Halloween, 4/12, very spooky day, October 31st. Woo! All right, take a look, take a look, take a look. We are public for the recap because I feel like it's the end of the month, and we want to be, giving away as much as possible because I feel like everybody needs a little helping hand. Let's see, is the volume working? Volume's working. All right. Here we are. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. I hope everyone had a great October. This October was definitely more on the treat side versus the trick side. Today, the goblins had their way a little bit and had a little bit of tricks because yesterday we closed on our highs. Then all of a sudden we woke up this morning and pow, little headline out of China. Okay, it's kind of interesting. Let me just do something real quickly. I want to make sure everyone gets this recap because it is again 4:13. Tune in again. It is Thursday, Halloween. I hope everyone has a great something to go to tonight. I love Halloween. I went to a party on Saturday with my wife. She was Cleopatra. I was some kind of Egyptian bodyguard. I'm showing off the guns. Well, anyway, here we are. At this point, some people say, "Hey, Red Dog, what's portfolio approach? What's tactical approach? Why are you so concerned with the 8 and 21 day? Why do you use a tier system? How do you navigate your go-to list? How do you move names up and down based on their setup?" Well, these are all things that takes years and years and years to to learn, and we try and teach you guys through a lot of our courses. We have Path to Profits. There are so many different ways for you to learn tactics on how to trade for a living. And that's what I do. I trade for a living. There are guys out there that'll talk all day long in the media. Yes, I do talk sometimes on Mondays on Fox Business, and I've been in the media since 2008, but I do trade for a living. So I know what you're feeling. I know your emotions. I know what's happening. I know when you get to that threshold where you're like, oh, I hope it, bounces, or I wish it goes through this point. Hope and wish, those aren't really good vocabulary words for traders. But anyway, we try and use calculated ways to stay involved in situations. And recently we talked this year a lot about active sequences. How do you stay with an active sequence? How do you go from portfolio approach to tactical and back to portfolio? How do you ride positions where you can make money, use chart patterns, use a tier system? So all these things are, I can't go over in the next 5 minutes because I have to, be on a ferry at 4:35 to trick or treat with my wife, son, and all of his friends. Anyway, that's my balance. But I'm going to get into it right now. So here is a chart of the S&P cash. So just so you guys know, remember this trend to the downside. Remember all these topping tails when we broke below the 8 and 21 day. This was like 29.80. So right here, if you were in some kind of portfolio approach, that was the time to get tactical. Why? We broke below the 8 and 21 day. If you broke below it here at 29.80 or 29.70, you weren't in any pain for about 120 points lower, and you would have been in the right frame of mind for when we did a red dog reversal low. What's a red dog reversal low? You guys know what that is. Trades below a prior low. That was 28.74, comes back above it. Well, remember that little 3-day sequence, which we weren't sure what was next. And then we had this wedge pattern. So we had a gap up, took back the moving averages, 29.62, held it, and right here is on my VTF or my disclosures. Everyone started seeing me get back into 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 positions because we were back in some type of portfolio approach. The active bulls, which I call it, when they're in control. The bulls have been in control of the bull market for 100 years. The active bulls are where we want to live as traders. We want to live there as guys that watch momentum trends, where we could stick with trades with limited pain. So this way we could make money from the market that trends and also make money on the best acting stocks, and then also make more money when ranges resolve, so we could use our tier system to add size and then take it off when we want to sit and have less, fluctuating in the wind. Look at this. Anyway, very cute. So 29.62, you could have been a buyer in here or even on this day, and we went up as high as 30.47. So that's about 80 handles that you could have sat for about 2.5 weeks in a portfolio approach, letting things work out for you with the right stops. Remember, a stop is not put in where you have a number that you want to lose. It's when the trade changes. when it goes from something you think is special or fine to something that's wishy-washy, where it doesn't deserve you to sit in. You'd rather revisit it. Sometimes we revisit, we wait for market discovery so then we could revisit it with a clear mind and less pain. So anyway, what do we do today? We came in, you tested this prior breakout, 3,022, 3,028, went below, came back above, and we're still in this upper range. We're still holding the 8-day moving average, which has been in control since October 11th. Okay, so now it's, Halloweenies. Anyway, it's 3 weeks later, and now the month is behind us. We have a new quarter in front of us. Everyone's saying, hey, Red Dog, do you think we're going to get to 3,200? Do you think Apple's going to get to 275? Do you think FANG's going to lead? Do you think Cloud's going to bounce back? Do you think the banks are going to be a buy in this pull-in that happened today? Do you think gold and silver is going to resolve these wedges higher? These are a lot of friggin' questions. I can't answer them all now because, again, it's 418. I talk about these every day in my note, in my videos, and everything that there is to talk about. So anyway, this is that. I'm not going to get into all, but I did do a post on how to approach a few earnings names, and that was today, because Apple is a name on my go-to list. It's been an unbelievable stock. About 3 weeks ago, I started to really put it on with some size as a swing trade. I said, this is a name that could lead us back to all-time highs. It's a leading indicator with Microsoft, with a few others, and it has. And I did not take it into numbers yesterday. I did not buy Apple saying, oh, Apple's great. I have the AirPods, which I do have, the watch, the phone, but anyway, I needed to go after it with a plan. I'm like, you know what? It's been up a lot. If I buy options, chances are they're going to suck out the premium. I'm not going to make money. The risk reward is not in my favor. I'll wait till after the print. So let's just get to Apple. So Apple, as of now, looks very, very strong, and I put it on today versus 245, which I talked about this morning. That was like the hourly low. I said it has to hold this high here to be kind of special, and now it does seem like it can go inside a few days and then take this out and go higher. I showed you at lunchtime the daily chart, and basically it held this range the entire time. This is your 245. Okay, so that was your spot. Actually, this is even higher. So 245 is down here. Okay, now we'll see, can it stay in this range and then take that out, and that will be your ad. So if you're in tier 1 because it held 245 and you don't want to be in more than tier 1 overnight, tomorrow trades above 249.75, you're in tier 2, goes into 250s, you take off a tier, you hold some, and you manage it. Overall, though, we'll see how it goes. Apple was very important for today, even though we were a little weaker. As far as what else is happening, okay, so that's Apple. I don't want to beat the. This is, by the way, this is an out of sequence trade. It didn't happen. So hopefully the trade view will correct that tomorrow, as this is very itchy. What else am I in? I'm in Microsoft. Microsoft, not a great candle today, but it is what it is. We got long here versus that earnings gap of 38.67. I bought it here, added this day, added more when I took that out, sold some strength. So I'm sitting back in it. Less than I had here, but I'm trying to stay with the trade. I hope this 142.65 holds, which makes it easier to sit. Amazon, I'm not in overnight. It's just fine, but Amazon needs a lot to prove. It traded through here, came back below, so I'm going to wait. Google, I'm not in right now. We'll see how that goes. Hasn't been the best trading stock out there, but you know what? It's holding this 1250, so maybe another day or so it holds 1250. After some price discovery, we could buy versus that, and then if the market wants to get better, perhaps it gets above this spot here, which is 1268, to get back towards that high. Google loves double tops for some stupid reason. Facebook came out. I did try it a few times. I had a few paper cuts. It didn't hold up as well as Apple did today. I don't like a candle like this. I talked about can it hold 193. It did not, so I'm going to wait. Same way, remember this earnings season, it got above 205.30, couldn't hold it, and it was a sell, and then look what happened. Well, not saying it's going to happen this time, but it could not hold 193.50, so my thought was if it could hold it, maybe it's special, maybe it deserves us to stay in it, maybe it deserves our hard-earned risk. It didn't, so now we have to re-evaluate. So where is it now? Well, the low, so we'll see what happens here. This low is, I don't even think this is the real low. Let's see what the real low is. The real low one day, the real low, what's up, Peter, is right here. So the real low is 191. This was different. I did buy it versus Guys, remember I talk about you could buy versus a 5-minute low, a 15-minute low, a 30-minute low. Well, here we came in, we bounced off it right around here. I bought versus the 5-minute low, and right here that was my stop. So what did I risk? $1 and change. I didn't buy it the whole way down. I risked that spot. Some of you guys would have said, hey, I'm going to do it versus an hourly low. And then maybe you made some money and then said, hey, we'll see if this trend holds. And it didn't. Right there, you could have been out. And then PS did a whole lot of nothing the rest of the day. So at this point, tomorrow and the next day or so will probably be interesting to see whether or not, this spot holds. So this is the real spot. The other one was an out of sequence trade. So all in all, not the worst thing in the world, but definitely could have done better. As far as Twitter, Redler All Access does get my intraday tweets of what I'm long. Everything else gets thoughts here and there. I did tweet to Redler All Access. Wasn't like a blockbuster thought. Twitter was doing some huge volume. There was a lot of option friggin' sweepers, whatever you want to call it, and there was some big blocks going off in the black market or the blue market or the green market or the gray market. Anyway, went long versus I was like long versus 29. I was at 29.10 and 30-cent stop after coming in from 45, and then it trended up all day. And when the market pulled in midday, it did not, so it gave me some confidence to sit. And now Twitter. It's not, it's not a blockbuster. It's not a burning, bullish, whatever. All I know is that it reclaimed 29.72, gave you a bottom tail, and now perhaps this will be a start of something, of a new active sequence. This is day one of a new active sequence. So if you sold it here or sold it there and didn't take it into earnings, like I don't take it into earnings, I did lose a little bit of money on my option play. Now it's a new long, which I am long, and if it happens to get above this spot, tomorrow or Monday, maybe there's some room to get back towards the moving average just for a broken bounce until it proves otherwise. So anyway, it's 424. I wanted to do a quickie. Today they shook the tree a little bit. It doesn't mean that the top is in, and it also doesn't mean you could just buy a dip blindlessly. No, buy a dip without thought or anywhere. It's been a very specific tape. A lot of people are complaining that under the surface some stocks have been very beat up and the indices are at highs and they don't understand it. Then you know what, you need to have the right stock selection strategies and tactics, and that's what I try and do. That's why I have a note that has the indices, has 25-30 names. I move them up and down the order based on the setup, and then I do a morning call, I do a video, I do a midday recap, I post 14 to 20 charts, and that's the bottom line. Have a great night. I'll be in Short Hills tomorrow, so I'll post a chart or two, but be safe, have some fun with your family and friends, and happy Halloween.